first competitor for the final competition. Make some noise for Wang Shibo! And now let's hear it for the second competitor. It's Huang Jungang.
So we will have a new world champion for the second year in a row, and for the second year in a row he will be from China. Let's find out who it is in the company of Gavin Rumgay, Tony West and Colin Wilson.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. And here we have the ultimate of ping-pong table tennis. Both players just checking these special bats, sandpaper bats. The idea is that they give off very little spin, about 2% of the spin that you can get with modern rubber bats. And so without that spin, they have to work harder. The rallies are longer. It's easier to see the skill that the players are using. No spin, no disguise of spin. And it's a classical kind of game, almost a throwback to the days of old before the rubber bats came in. And we have in the final two brilliant, brilliant Chinese players. This is Wang Shibo, 34 years of age. Not a bad player. He won the Chinese qualifier to get here to the competition final here at Alexandra Palace. And he's made it through there with one loss to Alex Fleming, who was knocked out by his opponent, current opponent, Huang. Apart from that, he's gone straight through to beat Zue 2-0 in the semi-final. It's quite something. 15-9, 15-4 against my tip for the top. And in the black, we have Huang Jungang from Suzhou. He's 43 years of age, so they're both from the same province in China. And Huang used to be the #2 ranked player, senior man in Zhengzhou province. So Gavin is wincing at the thought of how good a table tennis player he was. He's now 43 years of age. The younger man in the red plays some of his table tennis in the Portuguese professional league. So they're well used to the European circuit, at least Wang Shibo is. And this one is going to be best of 5 games, and the double point ball, Gavin, is available twice.
Time, please.
I think it's interesting here for Wang, obviously being the older player at 43 years old, how he can, handle the physicality of this longer match. We could be looking at 45 minutes to an hour for this best of 5 final if it was to go all the way.
One love.
Could be anything up to about 140 rallies if it's close in each game. Thanks, Tahir, for being MC for the duration this afternoon.
Love 2.
Standing there in the bow tie, soaking up the entertainment as well as delivering some of it. And here we have Wang Shibo with the penhold style. And you can see there the previous point.
Love 3.
The backhand with a little bit of side spin on it there. There he is. Both players just getting used to the grip. This bat, they won't have picked up for a little while. And when they change ends, they change bats to make it absolutely equal between the two players. But a good start for Wang. Not only 4-love up, he's got 2 serves to come. Really attacks the ball when he does that pendulum serve. But Huang, very, very consistent attacker, soaks up the pace and the power of the other person so well. He dealt with Chris Doran, albeit with a bit of luck.
2-4.
And so we're going to have a new Chinese world champion. Also got with me in the commentary box Tony West. Tony, is it a matter of youth over experience, do you think, given a brutal best-of-5 match which is this final contains.
2-5.
Well, it's always proved tough, especially just after playing such an incredible semi-final against Chris Doran, to then come back and play another tough match over even an extended period. It's going to take incredible physical prowess, really, from a 43-year-old.
Yeah, the Iron Man. See the attack, Gavin, that he puts on. Why did he put such a big attack on that serve?
He's wanting the rally to start in a fast manner, you know, so if you exert a little bit of speed at the start of the rally, you're hoping then to continue that for the next 3 or 4 shots.
Right. And getting a little bit of spin and swerve on the ball.
A lot of the time, you know, possibly Chris Doran would argue against me, but I believe a lot of the time that speed beats skill. So if you can be quicker to the first couple of shots, it doesn't matter how skillful your opponent is, you should be ahead in the rally.
3-8.
Okay, so it's taking the initiative in the rally, taking the ball a little bit earlier at the start of the rally after the serve. Okay.
8-4.
And that's obviously what's proved, you know,
well,
really well for Maxim Shmirev over the years.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And Wang tends to take the ball early and smother it earlier in the rally, so that pretty much suits the
9-4.
the theory of the Rumgay. That's a lovely shot, isn't it? A little bit of fading side spin wide of Huang's backhand.
5-9.
So the younger man in the black and yellow taking the first chances. Iron Man Huang. Look at the length that he's getting consistently on that backhand, but they don't all go on. And Huang just soaking up that pressure. Unbelievable.
Down 6.
Little apology there from Huang. See that just caught the top of the net and surprised and jumped up a little bit at Wang and surprised him.
Well, Wang possibly side spins the ball overall more than any other player, and you can see his anticipation is so good. Struggling back there. Huang did very well there. There's the soft ball to get the ball up, and then goes in hard and fast. The first one got the ball into a true lob position, and then he could put it away. But Wang 10-7 up on his serve. Double point ball to come. In fact, 2 double point balls allowed in this best of 5 games final.
7-11.
Wang very clever, played 2 balls into the crossover there to finish off the point. So it's not always just into the corners, it's wide of the table
8-11.
and then into the body, the playing elbow of the opponent.
Such a good player, Wang. He's sort of crept through the tournament, really. I don't think many people were talking about him as a potential winner. He was obviously solid, but I don't think anyone realised just how good and consistent and awkward to play against he is.
No, that's right. The way he dealt with the semi-final was masterful. He beat the current world champion Yan 2-1, 15-7 in the third and final game.
12-9.
And Sadilek 15-5, 15-6. Comprehensive victory there in the quarters. So very, very accomplished player. He's come through quietly but efficiently.
9-13.
So 9-13. Service score is read out first, so that means Huang's losing. But that was a very, very fast, flat shot.
Which is obviously then a lot more difficult for Wang to play that middle game and just, you know, soak up the pressure with 3 or 4 backhands. If you can exert that much power and pressure early in the rally, that's the way to go.
Yeah, trying it again. And he's done it again.
13-11.
Well played, Huang. Back to 13-11.
Well, and Huang again happy to keep driving into Wang's backhand. We've seen people try and fail to do that all day, but Huang's having a go.
Indeed. Not far behind now. That's a lovely return of serve. Shame it was a let serve. So when the ball hits the net on the way over, they've got to take it again. But during the rally, if it hits the net and goes onto the table, they just carry on if they can reach it. Oh no, Wang ran round, played his forehand across court, and then stayed there and went down the line for a winner. And you see Huang was running one way, the ball was going the other way, and that's the end of Huang trying to catch up. Suddenly, we've got to 5 game points for Wang. What a great player Wang Shibo is. How many unforced errors does he make? Gavin, what do you make of him?
Superb. It's that middle game. It's very similar to Andrew Bagley. A little bit more dynamic though, and just he's not going from low to high so often in the rally, so he's saving time between shots.
Yeah. Taking the ball a bit earlier than Bagley, but just as few unforced errors. So, Shao, the coach, has decided to let the players get on with it. They're not going to have a dedicated coach in their corner in between games. Remember, this is best of 5, not best of 3 games. So, this is not a game that Huang has to win. Although, I will say, he doesn't want to go 2-0 down against someone as capable as the Chinese sandpaper bat winning qualifier, Wang Shibo. So Wang Shibo's already proved his skill in this form of the game in China to qualify first. So he's, in theory, the favourite. Huang Jungang saying that he's absolutely loving being out here in the UK, having lots of fun with the younger guys. Both of these players now playing in a professional league in China for sandpaper ping pong.
Love 1.
Good old-fashioned low spin skill. It's that bouncy serve again. Didn't bother Wang. And the slow ball won it. That was clever.
Great play. If anything, Wang's actually got a little bit more active. He's moving, turning more often now and hitting that forehand from the backhand corner than he has previously. Just as Huang, you think, needs to step up the aggression, Wang's actually done it.
That's
And I've barely seen anybody with the efficiency of movement from backhand to forehand as Wang. His head is very still, very constant level. Doesn't seem to have to move that much. But his precision of his footwork, which makes for a very economical style, and therefore less things to go wrong. Huang there, really attacking. And then he had to hit about 5 or 6 to get through. That was nicely played, sent him the wrong way, slowed the ball down, got a bit of extra angle, banked that point. So, he's lost the first, Huang, in the red, but only 1 point down in this one, so he's not got off to a bad start.
4-2.
He's just having to play so physically for so long. Wang is untroubled by most of his best shots.
Such a smoothness and a rhythm to Wang's shots there. No panic. Plays the shot down the line, just a little bit slower. And that gave him a little bit of an opportunity then for the rest of the rally.
Cutting the ball with side spin on his serve. Wang stuck away from the table, and then again the softer ball winning the point.
So clever, wasn't it? He saw Huang just drift away from the table, just took all the pace off, and won it with a really safe shot.
3-6.
So now we can see why Shui Liang in the semi-final was overcome so easily by Wang. His big rangy shots were
7-3.
absorbed by the skill of the pen-holder. What lovely hands he's got in terms of the ability to control the pace of the ball, the way it rebounds off. Fast, slow, with side spin. Even when it hits the net there, it recovered. Huang, how many shots each rally has he got to hit hard
7-4.
to drill through? See how Wang coped with that net ball against him. Beautiful. And then eventually, Huang getting through with the power shots. And you can see, certainly a very, very physical game, and been a very, very physical tournament for Huang Jungang. Backhand down the line, just goes back to normal. Well, this is a footwork masterclass from Wang Shibo, winner of the Asian Open 2017 in sandpaper table tennis. Plays in the Chinese Professional Sandpaper League. Play once a month, and that's available on streaming. Last year's world champion, Yan, in the crowd there. I think he's enjoying the way it's going here as well. Appreciating how much these two players have improved compared to him from last year. Well, for all that we've said about Wang, Huang is still there. He's done it with repeated hard, flat counter hit shots, I think, mainly, Gavin. So does Huang just hang in there and just trade 50-50 and hope that he gets to 15 first? Or is there anything that he wants to do differently?
As we've seen in his first set against Duran, he was getting outplayed, and yet he came back to win that. So yeah, he can definitely mix it with the best. He is mentally strong, but now I think more than that, it really is a physical battle for him.
Yeah, but they call him the Iron Man. He's doing pretty much well with that. So Huang in the red. Now 2 points up. So maybe steady as she goes for the man in red, and he can gradually
8-9.
You can gradually get on top of Wang Shibo. A bit of extra encouragement from the Chinese in the crowd. And everyone getting behind it with them. This backhand-to-backhand exchanges, such high quality. Wang felt that he had to go around the player's forehand from the backhand. I wonder why. He could have maybe kept it on the backhand.
They're both so strong on that backhand corner, aren't they? The rallies look like they could go on and on and on until eventually one just changes the angle slightly. Perhaps goes to the hip or a bit wider just to force an error. So difficult to get an error from the other player.
It is. Wonderful demonstration of top-class footwork. Playing to the backhand and to the crossover, and that's what drew the error from Huang. So, the leader, the winner of the first game, Wang, and in theory the favourite, the younger man and the highest qualifying position from the Chinese qualification for this competition, Wang Shibo,
9-11.
is just pulling away. Best of 5 games. They've got 2 double-point balls to come. Maybe Huang could do it twice on the trot. Would that be allowed?
No, I think you have to play them in separate games. You're not allowed to use
two in one game.
Yeah.
Just 10-11. Just a good idea.
Whereas Gavin would have played his by the first 5 points of the first game.
Yeah, he'd have gone 4-love up in the first.
Yes, that's the way to. to do it. Just
keep
hope
them under pressure.
The umpires don't
and
see
typically
it.
the Chinese players use the double point ball when they get to either 11 or 12 points. They can take it any time, so it's a pretty free choice up to 12 points. You can't take it after that. But we haven't seen a double point ball yet. Maybe they're going to save them for later in the championship. Yeah, there it is. So the double point ball, the white ball has been taken. Shui Liang, semi-finalist here, put out the world champion, and then Wang Shibo put him out. Beautiful forehand from the backhand side, both players, with flat attacks, backhand to backhand diagonal, but with the forehand. So, 12-11 to Wang. Wang serving. Wang Shibo. Fast serve into the corner, backhand corner. And then an error there, a rare error from Wang. Does this give Huang a chance now? Can the Iron Man defeat the younger man for speed and strength?
Big point coming up now, pivotal to the second set.
Huang playing forehands from everywhere in that rally, despite Wang's ability to play it to the corners. But Wang's really there. Onto the forehand, back to the backhand with the side spin and backspin. And that drew the ball onto the net and off. So Wang actually cultivated that mistake.
This one's an even bigger point,
isn't
guys.
it?
Yep.
He's got 12 points. This will put him on 14. So, Huang Jungang looking to get to game. He does it. So Wang knows that he's given Huang a chance. Game point to Huang. So from Huang's point of view, it's this point for the game and to even it at 1 game all. There it is.
Game match, Mr. Huang.
The shake hand grip player has managed to even it up. That was probably difficult to do.
Would have been extremely tough had he been 2 sets to love down. So well done getting back into that one.
So both Chinese players taking a break. There's Wang Shibo. What a beautiful player, great exponent of the penhold style of play. And then Huang there. We've seen him go down on his haunches a few times in between points, haven't we? I wonder if he's getting tired in the legs. I think it would be fair enough if he was.
Wonder what they were saying to each other there.
Huang back in it at 1 game all.
Game, Mr. Wang to serve.
Oh, just an amazing display of the highest quality. Both players.
Love 1.
Still they're happy to trade backhand to backhand most of the time.
Just want to see one of the players sometimes just touch short on the net, short into the opponent's forehand, bring him away from that comfortable zone of the backhand to backhand first. Make them think a little bit.
Yeah, we're not seeing many short returns, are we, from Chinese players?
2-1.
Suppose if you trust your middle game, you don't need to receive the ball short so often.
Yeah, and maybe they're just kind of facing off each other to say, no, I can stick with it, and I'm confident that I will defeat you in the end with this style, and they're both doing the same thing to each other, so it's just a kind of a face-off with both players refusing to change tactics. That one, Huang did go down the line, but it went into the net. See the Super League logo on their shirt cuffs.
3-all.
The backhand for Wang is so powerful. Wang just not worried by it. See how that went down off his bat.
4-all.
Well, point for point in this game. 1-all, 4-all, standard. The quality of rallies, incredible stuff.
Yeah. So you think of the players that have gone out. The champion, Yan, in the quarterfinals. Sadilek beaten in the quarterfinals. Doran and Bagali, both in the quarterfinals, played each other. And
4-5.
Doran overcame Bagali, and then Doran was beaten by Huang here. And Filip Szymanski as well, all defeated. So all of these players being beaten by these two Chinese superstars. 6-4 and serving.
6-5.
There's really nothing in it. So just to remind you, they've got one more double point ball to play each. And you see Huang's changed his style. He's decided to go to the forehand of Wang.
We've seen him in every game, haven't we? Get better and better as the game's gone on. So Wang needs to really hold on now and not let Huang start to pull away.
Wang, the pen holder, serving. Gets his forehand in.
6-7.
It's a weak return, that one.
And it was good as well to just crash that straight down the middle of the table.
Yep, serve and attack. Oh, error there. We don't see many of those from Wang. Huang Jungang. Well deserved for creating a bit of variation. Just knock Wang's mental state, give him an extra variable to consider.
8-7.
So best of 5, all up to 15 points. We're in the middle of the third game.
8-all.
And there's nothing between them. I was eulogising about Wang's play, but Huang's got back into the match really, really well. Like you say, Tony, he looks to be very, very good after the first couple of games. And he tends to come back into a match. He's done that a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. Clever player, works out his opponent's weaknesses as the game goes on. It's cleverer than me, because I haven't seen that many in Wang's game, to be honest.
Yeah, to win this many points against Wang's consistent power. And out-hit him. Picked it off the net and won the point. Well done, Wang. Beautiful balance, Gavin.
8-10.
You can see there when he moved in, he didn't just get the net back, he was doing something with it as well. That was really important.
Yeah, great body control. And that's great power. Very, very wide of Wang's backhand there. So Wang 1 point behind and serving. As really as anybody's this third game.
10-all.
Wang had a bit of a lead in the first. I think had some dominance in the first game. Even though it's 15-11, you could kind of see a bit of a difference. Huang pulled that back. I feel like Huang kind of scraped the second, but he's been really matching it point for point in the third.
11-10.
And that's the first time Wang's been ahead for a little while. Could he start to pull away now? still sticking with the forehand pendulum serve, chopping down on the ball. Huang having to lift it.
10-12.
Footwork of Wang's incredible, isn't it? Every time he gets switched wide, he just seems to be there. It doesn't seem to struggle to get across the table quickly at all.
Yeah, he's in hyperspace mode, so he's on the back corner, and when the ball comes to the forehand, he just appears on the forehand without having to do any effort in between. Absolutely beautiful footwork.
10-13.
So,
That's
Huang trying to hold on to this third game. Hard backhand across court. He's gone back into Wang's backhand.
13-11.
It's a brave thing to do, but he's drawn a mistake from Wang. Wang's certainly making a few more mistakes on the backhand than he was, certainly in the first game.
And that was a little change up in pace. He could have crashed that one down the line. Opted for the little Duran slower shot. Just keep your opponent thinking.
Indeed. Oh, it touched the edge.
14-11.
Well, that gives Wang game points. In fact, it gives him 5 game points. Nothing Huang can do with that one. Occasionally you can get an edge back. Nets back, quite common. Sometimes it can even be an advantage if the other person hits the net. Slows the ball down for you, as long as it's not too jammy. But edges are notoriously difficult. The odd thick edge people get back. The thinner edge is almost impossible, the way they kick off the table and in an unpredictable way. No one's managed to coach getting edges back yet, Gavin. Have you tried to do that? Have you got that far with the evolution of the sport yet?
It's the long-term goal for me to predict that there's going to be an edge, and I'm going to be standing away from the table waiting for the edge one day.
That's it. That's where we're heading. But for now, we'll just have to stick with this world-class quality of body control and technique.
14-all.
And we are at 14-all. So, sudden death point, 15-14 takes it. Will it be Wang, the server, pen-hold? Or will the receiver, the shake hands player, Huang, will he take the last 2 games on the trot? Forehand to forehand. Huang going wide. And the older man takes the 3rd game. He looks exhausted, but he's 2-1 up.
He's done it again. He did that against Doran, didn't he? He looked like he was completely out of the game. Comes back and takes it. Fantastic fighting from Huang.
And that's why he's called the Iron Man. And he's struggling physically, I'm sure. This might just be for a rest. He might be a little bit tired. He might be carrying something. Last year, if you remember famously, the great Alex Fleming, the Flash, started to struggle with cramp in the final. It didn't affect his game too badly, but it must have some kind of small effect. And Huang is, well, he's given pretty much everything and possibly more, but he does know that he's only 15 points away from $20,000.
Yeah, what a fascinating final this turned out to be, isn't it? Another fantastic weekend of table tennis. Look at this arena, absolutely packed. And I've got to say, again, a big well done to Fred Dove, as we do every year. Done a fantastic job of behind the scenes, getting all the qualifiers done and so on. We hear it could be his last year. We hope not, but a fantastic job again.
Thanks ever so much, Fred. It's been a great event, beautifully put on by Matchroom. And here we go, 4th game. Huang is now available, 2 games to 1 up. If he can finish this off, it will be a brilliant, brilliant result.
One of my long-term practice partners, a good friend of mine, Michael O'Driscoll, and I'm sure he won't mind us all across the world knowing his age at 47.
Is he?
You know, I'm sure he's looking at this thinking, come on, you know, the 43-year-old, there's still life in you yet.
Yeah, looking at this youngster, 43 years old, Michael, there's more in you yet. Same hairstyle. So, 2-love up. The tables have turned.
Love 3.
Huang, you see the way that he looks, thinks about his technique for the next rally. Little movements before they start the rally. Oh, and Wang's going for it now. Forehand from the backhand side to both sides. Now, to say that that's competent and efficient is really a bit of an insult. That is absolutely world-class, trained in. Around for the forehand, again, and the fourth one is too much. Beautiful play. Gavin, hope you're watching. You've got to take him out next year, mate.
I'm going to be studying this video after this, get the footwork sorted. But on a serious point, the European players, a lot of the time when they get switched wide to the forehand, once they get to the shot and play the shot, they think that's it. That's not the end of the shot. Once you hit that shot, you've got to recover back to the other side of the table.
Yeah. And these players, at the standard that they're playing in their homeland, the ball's coming back with pressure so much that they learn to play the forehand from the forehand side and get back to the backhand side and play another forehand from the backhand side.
Well, Wang fighting his way back, 4-1 down. He was looking in trouble here, so start of a recovery. He needs to catch up quick, because if Huang wins this game, it's all over.
That's the hardest shot of the tournament. Did you hear that? Between bat and table, almost no time. Ba-bang! Runs around, smash down the line. I haven't seen a harder shot than that. Certainly off a lower ball. Well done, Huang. Don't know how he's hanging in that. I don't know how he's managing to keep improving throughout this tournament. He just keeps getting better and better. Wang forced into playing forehands. He wants to control with his backhand. It hasn't been working. He's forced to run around and play forehands. And to be fair, it's not getting the result that he wants. Huang's very happy when they're trading bigger shots to all points on the table. I think Wang does better, the pen holder, when he can settle the rallies down. There, he's trying to do it a little bit slower, but then Huang gets a bit of luck. Both players recover. Slow ball again from Wang. He's having to think his head off, isn't he, to stay in these rallies? And to smother the ball, keep it down, and stop Huang playing hard backhands to all points on the table.
I want to give Huang an honorary point there, because it just deserves one. That shot he got off that net, he didn't just get it back, he then flicked it wide to the forehand. I thought it had to be a winner. Brilliant play, though, from Huang.
A lot of players say that the Chinese players are one-dimensional at times. You can see there, though, the way that, you know, some of the Chinese, or in the semi-final, they managed to deal with Duran. With the changes of pace, the changes of spin. It just shows you they've got so much more in their armoury.
Yeah, and quite often they play that second or third dimension and then get back into a recovery position. A lot of players don't even notice that they played that second dimension at speed, and then they go back to the standard rally. The mental agility here. To be able to read what the other person's doing, make a decision about what you're going to do, and then put it into action at your end. Recover for the next ball as well. Well, they say this game is just about one of the best to keep your brain young when you get older. Well, Wang ends up around the backhand corner. There he is, and he misses the smash down the line.
He just couldn't stop himself. He had to run that way so fast. He couldn't stop and make himself go back.
He couldn't stop and do it
the other way.
He couldn't stop and do a backhand. Yeah. Well, 8-4, 3-1. Huang could win it now. Can Wang pull it back to 2 games all, or has the older man turned the tables and played the smarter angles that he was struggling to do in the first game? The pace on that backhand is beautiful. Huang's backhand is now too strong for the penhole backhand of Wang. It's all turned around.
Yeah, he may be 43 years old, but at the moment he's reversing that trend of not winning from playing the second semi-final. It's incredible stuff from him.
Yeah. And a good message to the youngsters here. They're playing with a great deal of thought and care and consideration, but with no fear. If you look down, when you're on the tightrope and you look down, that's when it gets dangerous. They're just looking up towards victory, solving the problems as they go. Oh, I don't believe that. And now Huang is playing the blocking game that Wang was playing before.
5-9.
How did that rally last that long?
Tony's speechless. I can't blame him. It's been an incredible final.
It's that racket head speed there.
5-10.
If you're in doubt and you just slightly decelerate on the ball, it's going to fly off the end.
I wonder if he remembers he's got a second double point, because I'd use it there, but we're all different.
9-6.
Yeah, that's a good call. Wang surely should use it now. So after the first, we couldn't see how Huang was going to win this. Wang was in total control of the footwork patterns, but Huang has gradually improved the power on his backhand attack, and especially down the line as he did there. And then when it goes across, it becomes more.
11-6.
Now for Huang, just 4 points away. A very notable win here, winning the World Championship of ping pong. But look at Ryan smiling.
Unfortunately, his attitude is fantastic,
Well,
isn't
he's
it?
just having so much fun. His legs are probably falling off, but the adrenaline's keeping him going, isn't it?
I wouldn't want to be him tomorrow morning when he wakes up.
Well, you said you couldn't move because of your stomach, Gavin. I wonder what it's going to be like to have played all the way through this evening until 9 o'clock at night. He'll need carrying out of his hotel room in the morning. But for now, it's all fun and games. That's a beautiful fourth ball. I don't think that ball bounced properly on the backhand, and Wang still managed to pick it up and drill the forehand. It's back to forehand. Sorry, back to front action on Wang's forehand attack is so good.
7-11.
Not use double point.
So. So.
Double point ball for Mr. Wang.
Double hits, inevitably, the double point ball. You see the young Chinese player being, the young Chinese spectator being trained by the world champion, but he won't be world champion for long. If Huang wins the next 3 points, then the crown goes to the new man, the older man. Oh, and that's 2 points, 12-9.
12-9, it's not over yet.
No.
9-12.
Is there another gear for Wang to be able to maybe trade backhand to backhand and soak up? Maybe it happened then. Maybe it'll happen with the orange ball that they go back to now. So, no more double point balls in the match. Even if it goes to 5, they're played out of double pointers. Bouncy serve to the crossover. Wang, yes, settling down again with the 10 holders backhand, slowing the ball down. They're outthinking each other on a regular basis, like a spiral of tactics at each end. One raises the game, the other one raises it in a different way. Sometimes it's more power, sometimes it's to put in a slow ball. A little bit of nerves, possibly.
Oh, it's another amazing fight back, isn't it? We had one from Huang in the previous game, and now Wang's doing it in this game.
So you think Huang's getting nervous, Gavin?
Well, it's just good to see that players of this level can, you know, suddenly struggle to hit a barn door as well.
As well as
everyone else from Europe.
Oh, look at this. This is going to be the point. He missed right behind the ball. No reason to miss it. It just went too wide.
Kind of plonked it off the side of the table, going for the short ball. It wasn't that close either. So players just struggling a little bit with errors. This, of course, is when they can creep in. Any sort of mental tension will show in the body, and that will show up in a big way on the ball.
13-12.
Well, I have to say, I hope this goes to 5, just so we can see some more of this display. World-class exhibition of ping pong.
I couldn't agree more. It's fantastic to watch, isn't it?
So, Wang serving at 12-13. Oh, and another little error. They are human.
And this is where the hours and hours over the last few months make the difference. You know?
Yeah, been training with this bat since July. So A really solid preparation. And look at that backhand down the line from... I'm surprised he's got to it, but not only that, he played it down the line. Look at that, right onto the end of the table. Huang, to be honest, he looked flat-footed after he moved across.
Brilliant. Huang really went for it, didn't he? Turned on that corner, hit it as hard as he could. Wang dealt with it, as you say, not only just by getting it back, but banging it hard down the line.
Wang's in control again. You can just see it in Wang's body language. He smothered it, got the fourth game, and we're going to go to a fifth and final set. A big puff of the cheeks from Wang Shibo, the first qualifier from the Chinese qualification for this tournament at Ali Pali. And the difference between winning and losing in the fifth game, $10,000. That's what the finalist gets, $20,000 for the winner. They're giving it everything. Already hit the limit of physical endurance.
He's got to hit a wall at some point, hasn't he? And that could affect him for a few points, even if he recovers from it. I'll be amazed if he keeps up that level without, you know, with full consistency for the rest of his last game.
I've been there myself in some big national finals where you hit the wall physically, and I think the most important thing for Wang to do now in the first 1 or 2 points of this final set is to just shout a little bit, jump a little bit after 1 or 2 points, try to get the adrenaline level.
To serve, up all.
Yeah. Is that for his own adrenaline, or is that a message to the opponent, Gavin?
Absolutely both. But he's got to tell himself that he's in a good frame of mind here. Try and trick himself.
Love one.
There we go. Let's have 6 full-pace backhands from Huang to win a point. Yep. You've got to do that another 15 times, Huang. Sorry, 14.
14 now. Well, it won't go beyond 15 points. Fifth and final game, 1 love. Chop block. What a smart idea. Wang stepped back and had to step in again.
Yeah, it took me by surprise as well, and it just made the ball drop quickly, and Wang wasn't ready to pick it up.
It's like what we call an irregular footwork exercise when for Huang. He says, I'll play to your backhand, you play anywhere. And we've got back into that pattern, which is the pattern of the first game, which didn't work for Huang Jungang. Here he is, serving. So when is Huang going to play to the forehand? There it is, but again, Wang has started to look comfortable, but the second one he couldn't get to. As Huang is hitting hard and more consistently than he was in the first game.
I wonder if the break, Colin, you know, it's just given him some more oxygen back to the brain, and he's made a good start to this final game. Yeah,
has to spin up. Again, has to spin up. Wang's trying to contain, doing a great job of it. And Wang's change of pace there was beautiful, Gavin.
He's taking the ball so early, and when you do that, that's where you can control the ball right on the bounce.
Yeah, so Huang definitely taking it later than he was earlier in the match. I wonder if that's because he can't get there in time. He just wants to let the ball bounce up so he can hit it harder.
4-2.
So Huang Jungang, 43 years of age. I'm sure he's feeling all 43 right now.
5-2.
But he's 5-2 up, and he's known, they say, he's a player that just keeps going and sometimes just keeps getting better despite the odds, despite the demands, the performance demands on his game and on his legs. Backhands down the line from Huang, and then across to the backhand. Oh, and that was so unlucky. Huang's tactics were beautiful in that rally, and at the end, Huang just hit the net. Sometimes life isn't fair. Now that came back onto the net. It was a nothing shot from Wang, wasn't it? It could have been attacked afterwards, even if it had come back, but clipped the net. So 3-5, Wang holding on in this match. Another net, and then off the table. So 3-6.
3-6.
Huang Jungang takes a 3-point lead now. the shake hands player. That's a great forehand. You see the quality of the stroke production.
It might be a lead that he's needed, though, physically. His opponent looks to get back into the match when they change sides after 7 points. First to 7 points, they'll change.
Indeed. And yeah, Wang won't want to give him any kind of cushion at all. Good forehand from Wang from the forehand side. One down the line, then one across. Ball's going everywhere now. This is not just backhand to backhand, is it? Defense play. Rueful smile from Wang Shibo. And we don't know, it could be Wang that is carrying a lot of fatigue. He's just not showing it. But he's away from the table. Backspin. His body does look a little bit flatter now.
Oh, both players must be exhausted. To keep going at this level and the way they are is incredible.
7-4.
To maintain the body control. So as soon as they serve onto the toes, carrying the weight through the quadriceps. I love Wang's forehand, actually. Oh, I love it even more now. Look at that. It just goes from back to forwards. Doesn't take his back down at all. Just drives straight through the ball with a high backswing. He goes around there. Keeps the backswing high. Drives straight through. He's under pressure right into the shoulder. Able to squeeze the ball out. And that brings him back to 5-7 and serving. Good width. Softer ball. And Huang is going around to play forehands from everywhere now. He's got him back from the table again. Huang played about 14 forehands. Some from the backhand side, some from the forehand side. Look at this footwork. Forehand again. One backhand there. Round for the forehand. Round for the forehand. And then Wang struggling. I wonder if Wang has hit the wall. 5-8. Wang going for backhand to backhand again. And it's not working. I can't believe that Huang Jungang, the shake hands player, this man has pulled out a 4-point lead in the final game.
Yeah, well, let's not forget that the player in front of this at this stage has lost the last 2 ends. So, you know, this is far from over.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. The momentum can change so quickly.
9-6.
There's one version of it.
You can just see there when he switches to play the second forehand, just rushes it slightly. The ball was just still a little bit too high.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, let's have your predictions.
I don't want to do it, Colin. Every single person I've said has lost. I'll let you two. I'll let you two go.
I'm going for the 92-year-old.
Well, he's 43, but clearly a strong, strong man. And you, when you look at the point score now, Wang serving at 6-10, then Huang, Iron Man, has the points advantage. Oh, hit the top of the net. Huang Jungang should have waited for that one. I know it's easy to say.
Yeah, he jumped in, didn't he? Took it so close to the table, it was virtually impossible to pick it up from there.
Yeah, rushed it. That was one of those net chords that actually gives the opponent the advantage. Big shots from Wang, very brave.
9-8.
8-10, back to 2 points.
Could be a long towel down this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of show there. Getting back to the table, getting on with it. Trying to show the other player they're not struggling, they're not in pain. Great forehand smash from Wang.
11-8.
Really brave first backhand that was, really accelerated through it, gave it a bit more power.
Yeah, Iron Man, and you see that twist of the body producing the acceleration through the ball. 3 points clear, 11-8, first to 15, takes the championship. bit more steady, and then a mixture there. Gavin, they're definitely changing the pace in that rally. They weren't both clouting it as hard as they could.
And both players there watching each other's rackets, so they could try and sort of predetermine where the ball was going to go. So still thinking clearly. It really is the business end of this final now.
9-11.
The crowd hush for the start of this point. Wang serving 9-11 down. Ironman playing forehands from the backhand side, and the power that he got with that last one. You saw his heel was on the floor, lifted his toe to get the twist and go down the line. Classical
Absolutely
play.
phenomenal from Huang.
9-12.
Absolutely phenomenal. I didn't think he could hit it harder than he had on the first two, and then somehow produce more power to win the point. Incredible play.
9-12. Oh, and there's the switch, but Huang's got it back. And now it's Wang playing forehands from everywhere. Oh, this is amazing. I don't believe it. Look at the quality. So, average play. Well, this looks like an exhibition match. Neither player, it only looks constant power because they're both giving it everything. Unbelievable. Wang, look at them. He's spent, but he's got to give more. He needs 5 more points. Huang, 3 points from victory. Ironman to serve. And he takes it.
13-10.
That's a good forehand attack into the crossover. Chose not to go into the backhand that time. And Huang has really got to grips with playing the ball wide of Wang's forehand and into the crossover now. And 2 points from victory. And the World Championship crown. He's got another one. 5 match points to the Ironman from China, 43-year-old Huang Jungang, qualified from
14.
China. His opponent was the winner of the qualifying competition, so he's turned around those form statistics. Wang is serving to save the match. And he saves one.
Well, we've seen some incredible comebacks today. One from 14-8, couple from 14-10. Can it happen again in the final?
I think Huang should pivot early in the rally and try and crash a forehand. You do that 2 or 3 times, you're going to win one of the points, I would fancy.
Okay, so risk-taking strategy from Gavin Rumgate. So he's talking about Huang Jungang, the Ironman player. So he's guessing should turn around blind to play forehand from the backhand corner.
14-12.
14-12. And to say these are nervous moments for both players is incredible. But they're both capable of bringing out the very, very best in the world shots. See the focus there from the penhold Wang. And that's a great shot.
Oh, can it happen again? I mean, I feel for Huang. I think I'd be struggling to throw the ball up. Must be so tense.
Can this go to a sudden death at 14-all? That just goes to show that these players are totally evenly matched. Match point. He's in with a forehand. He's got Wang away from the table. Wang's relying on defence. He's match point down at this end. And it's gone off the side. I don't believe it. Have we ever had this before? 14-all in the final game. It's all down to 1 point. There's $20,000 on this.
What a finish.
Both players are really appreciating the crowd. They're pretty much giving them a standing ovation at this point. Appreciation to both players. Wang serving. Ironman receives. Consistency from both players. And there's the power from Huang. Gets the net back. Goes down the line. And the pen holder, Wang Shibo, the Chinese #1 qualifier, wins by the smallest of margins, 15-14 in the 5th and final game. We have a new champion and a new standard for ping pong sandpaper table tennis.
And how good was that? That final point, clawing the ball back from the net and get back in front of the point to club the winner.
How he got that net back under that condition at that pace, and it was kind of, he almost had to play it pendulum style, like he was doing a serve, to pull it back, and he kept it low and under control. And if ever a shot deserved to win a tournament, it was that one.
That was beautiful. No errors at the end. A couple of nervous ones earlier, but Wang Shibo, world champion, is congratulated by the man that he beat in the semi-final, Shuo Liang. Delighted Chinese, and that's a beautiful win for the Chinese, showing the flag. And we'll hand over now. Thanks for being with us. Thanks, Gavin. Thanks, Tony. We'll hand you over to the presentation team. Thank you. Good night.
Commercial Director of Matchroom Multisports. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the winning order. And we will start with our bronze medals. The bronze medals go to the contestants who fell short of victory in the semi-final. So our first bronze medalist, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Liang Zhu. And our second bronze medal in England's Christopher Doran. And ladies and gentlemen, the runner-up, the World Championship of Ping Pong 2018, silver medalist, Huang Jungang, the Iron Man. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of Ping Pong 2018, make some noise for Wang Shi. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Wang Shibo!
Let's have a word with the winner. Kindly interpret it for us. What a final that was. One of the best finals we've ever had at the World Championship of Ping Pong. Can you just ask Wang Shibo how he feels now that he's won the title?
特别你现在感觉怎么样？你现在拿了世界冠军。
非常激动，非常开心。这一场不管输赢，给现场的观众和所有的沙板球迷献上一场精彩绝伦的比赛，这一点是最重要的。
Yeah, it's very exciting and then very happy, very tired. So, but no matter how tired the game is, I'm very happy to present the wonderful match for the audience, for the people who stay and then to watch us to play.
Can you ask him a little about the crowd here? The atmosphere here today has been absolutely fantastic. The crowd have been brilliant. I'm sure Wang Shibo agrees.
Yeah. 他跟你说，他说今天的整个观众席感觉非常非常好，你觉得怎么样？
非常非常棒。所有的观众，感谢所有的球迷，所有现场的观众，谢谢他们对我们的支持，非常非常棒。
We actually very appreciate the crowd here. Actually, I feel like play here is more exciting even playing in China because the crowd really appreciate our effort. And then they cheer, and then they, even we play with the opponent, you know, with, I think sometimes pretty excitement, make our even play better within this atmosphere. Thank you very much, everybody.
It's been a brilliant tournament. I'd like to congratulate Wang Shi, fantastic champion, a great champion. Thanks from all of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The champion at the World Ping Pong Championship 2018, it's China's Wang Shibo.
Well, what an incredible final, and Wang Shibo is the new world champion of ping pong. There have been plenty of thrills and spills all weekend. Thanks for watching. Until next year.